Welcome to Lost Without Japan, a podcast based on Japan and your lost without moments. Go ahead and grab your favorite beverage, pull up a bar stool, and join your Nomikai friends as we get ready for today's episode of Good Times.
Welcome to our 9th episode of Good Times, episode 100 and something of the show. But this is where we catch up with each other and I'll just talk about anything related to Japan. So pull up that bar stool and join Maurice, David, and myself in Good Times. The show is always available through your favorite podcasting service. And sometime this summer, we'll return it back to like a video and audio offering. But as I've said numerous times, just classes right now. I just started a new one. I had 0 days off between one class starting and then the next class starting back up. So I appreciate your understanding. If you are following the show on Patreon, you're going to continue getting the show early. In fact, we dropped Talk with My Son before, and this will be in the same place. If you'd like stickers and extra perks, feel free to follow that link in today's show notes. Now, with that out of the way, let's pull up that favorite chair. If you're driving, eyes on the road. But join David, Maurice, and myself in Hiroshima, and we'll get started. Before we get going too far today, those of you that are a fan of Good Times and been following, know that I've been trying sparkling water for some time, and we've yet to hear from anybody. So I'm going to spice this up, and maybe I've been targeting the wrong companies and stuff. So we're going coffee this time. Gentlemen, if you want to try some coffee that is low in acid, which is not such a bad thing, and also tastes good, Lucy Joe's Coffee, certified organic. It's Mellow Belly Breakfast, medium roast coffee. It comes ground and in a bag. It is the perfect way to start your day. You could fly this to you, in Japan. It's made for travel. So, at home, abroad, come on, it, Lucy Joe's Coffee. Not a sponsor of the show yet, but who knows? Next time, we'll see. Gentlemen, Maurice, David, welcome back, my friends.
Hey, hey.
Hello. Have you been?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good. We have some recent, some of us more often, more recent than others, travelers to Japan. So we got David, who's just back from his trip, myself that was back from mine, Maurice that was back from his. We have 3 gentlemen that have been to Japan very recently, and we can talk about that a little bit today. I've been missing Japan since I've been back, David and Maurice, and so I've been on this kick recently to try to find movies from Japan that can kind of fill that void. And it's not, Beautiful Days level that I'm expecting, or like, Lost in Translation level of quality, but just something good that I could watch. So I went on, and you can fall prey or just, get things the wrong way. You can look at reviews and you can see, hey, this is really highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm going to give this a go, and it may not be for you. So I bought 3 movies digitally, and I'd do what, I'd buy it physically if it was something that I liked a lot. But one of them I was super excited about, and I think I might have shared with both of you or not, but it's called 100 Yen Love. And if you want to watch 100 Yen Love, skip ahead like a few minutes, or and you can go through. But I just want to say I was so excited going into this. This movie is about 32-year-old woman in Japan, and the premise of it is that she gets into boxing after kind of like having a fight with her family and her sister. They run like a restaurant out of their house, like at the lower levels. they end up having some sort of confrontation, and she goes on to. She's always liked boxing. She keeps on passing by the same place, and she wants to, have this be a part of her life. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, it's not based off a real event or anything, but I'm like, I can watch something, watch somebody, better their lives, have some cool stuff happen, see some parts of Japan you may not normally see. I've not trained for boxing ever, much less in Japan. So I'm like, this has so many things that could go well for it, and it like crashed and burned pretty early on. I watched the whole movie, but like if so there was a rape scene in this where this girl's like, she's working at this convenience store trying to make some money on her own, and a coworker invites her out, and I'm like, this isn't going to go well to begin with. And like, if this happens, and I'm like, why? Like, I didn't see like the reasoning for this to happen. And afterwards, that's when she finally gets into boxing, and I'm like, this, like, it just to me is unnecessary. I'm like, it's not a real life story, it's not anything. Whatever your artistic reasoning, I gave the movie some more time, and I figured, I'm like, okay, I'm not expecting for this person to become Rocky, right? She's not like, you're not at 32 years old going to join like professional boxing most likely and become like an all-star. But I wanted to see this person kind of like better their life and like get something out of it. And she starts dating a guy around and this guy's no good for her either. This guy leaves her for another girl that he starts working with, that's younger than her, and she's like, "Oh, you're cute." He leaves her, and she goes the boxing route, does all this stuff, goes into a fight, and basically forgets everything she had, which can happen. I mean, like, you receive your first punch, what you've learned can go away. But she doesn't win the fight, and she ends up with the guy that left her for somebody else. And she's just like crying at the end of the movie, and she's like, I really wanted to win. And it's not her family she's talking to, it's this guy that's already left her once. So it left me very unfulfilled for what I was looking to for it. And I haven't looked through the reviews to why it was rated like basically 100% through Rotten Tomatoes, but it was definitely not for me. I had started to watch After the Storm, and I needed to give some time because it's about a dad who's uh, has nothing to do with his son, and he's kind of like a private detective type guy. So I'll let you know how that goes because I'll finish it. And I have a third movie that's Our Little Sisters. Like, all three of these movies, super highly rated. But man, I may just need to reach out to Maurice more and just be like, hey, Maurice, David, can you recommend something to me? Because strike one, two, one and a half so far. But yeah, I just was really disappointed. So that's my things to bring to the show. Not meaning to bring you under the downer, but man, not what I expected for movies. So how about you, gentlemen? You got to have something better than me. David, you've returned from Japan. Maurice, you've had cool stuff happening. What's going on, my friends?
David, you can go first.
Oh, all right. Where to begin? So I think it's been about 2 weeks now since I've been back, and I can tell you it's hard. I'm just like, take me back. um, but yeah, no, it was a lovely trip. It was so let's start off with the weather. I thought that was going to be an issue being in winter because I'm not really a winter person, but just as cool. I would say because we don't. I normally haven't really experienced snow much, and it was snowing half the trip when I was there, and it was just kind of like magical. Especially seeing like the alleyways all like covered in snow. I've got some photos I can show. But yeah, just really cool. So I would say with the bucket list that we had last time, I would say I only got half of that fulfilled. Um, so
Got to go back. Got to go back,
yeah, I
David.
have to. That's it. That's the only thing to do is just to go back and finish that bucket list. Um, and I'm sure I'm going to have more to add to it. So it's just going to be a never-ending journey to Japan. Um, so yeah, so we're pretty much uh, went to Tokyo for 2 nights. Then we went to, let me think. I'm just blanking at the moment.
Because I know you went to
Did,
Sapporo, like, or
y-
Sapporo.
yes. Oh, yeah. So it was Tokyo. We went to Nagano for 2 nights. Saw the snow monkeys. Um, that was pretty cool. Recommend it. Uh, then we went to. Then that was pretty much the highlight for Nagano. We went to the snowfields too. That was pretty cool. So we did some like a tour, um, and did some like snow activities there, like various different things. And then we also had lunch too. So that was pretty cool. Um, really nice. Yeah, I'll post photos of this on my Instagram. So, and most probably in order of how I'm explaining the whole trip, so people can follow through with everything. So, anyway, so from Nagano went to Kobe for Christmas. We were there for 2 nights, and that was just kind of like looking around and just seeing what's on. We didn't have anything really planned. Oh, we went to it's called the Herb Garden. It's kind of like I would say like a German themed botanical garden, but with like um, herbs and vegetables. Yeah, very odd, but really cool. I definitely would say that's worth seeing too, because you get a good view of the bay from the top, because it's in the mountain range. Well, not the mountain range, like just in the hillside. Sorry. Um, so yeah, and that was pretty crowded too, because that wasn't on actual Christmas Day, and so everyone was having like a date night. um, and then from there we went to this bar called the Castle, and then that's when we had like a Christmas dinner and had like all these cocktails. Yeah, really lovely place too. Recommend it. So from Kobe we went to Osaka. And that's when I really, because last trip I went, we did get to Osaka, but that was mainly just for Universal Studios. And we saw like one or two things, but really didn't get to see much of it. But this trip, we made it a mission to kind of have a good like explore around the whole city. So we're there for 3 nights, um, and then from there flew up to Sapporo for 4 nights. So um, yeah, and Sapporo was lovely too. So um, definitely a different city. Um, but the only thing that I can add to that would be um, that it was awkward timing too, because a lot of things was shut after New Year's, because we spent New Year's there. So,
Mm, 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 mm.
but New Year's Eve, oh my god, I have to tell you about that. We so uh, left the hotel about like 10 to 12, just to see if we could find like a shrine to visit. And then I heard just like drumming in the distance, and we're like, oh, let's just follow where the drumming's coming from. And then yeah, went to this temple, and you could kind of say it was like a very wholesome New Year's. So it was lovely. Um, yeah, so that consisted of because when we saw the temple, uh, there was like a line of people around this really big Buddhist bell, and I think everyone had like a turn of like swinging the hammer or the mallet and like ringing the bell. And then when that happened, they'll give you like a little plaque, little wooden thing to hang up on the little what do you call it? Like, yeah, you tied up on this like rack, and then you just write down all your like New Year wishes. What would you hope for the new year to bring? So, yeah, really cool. So that's just a really fast. Oh, and then we went to Tokyo for 2 nights after that. We stayed in Roppongi. That was pretty cool. Yeah, so that's just a really quick, brief bit of the trip. So If you have any questions, fire away because what would you
I
guys
know
Well,
like?
if
that
you're yeah, go for
while
it,
you were
Maurice.
posting to your Instagram stories, you're posting pretty regularly to your Instagram stories, and
Yeah.
I was like. No, because I think I saw some stories. Did you go skiing?
Uh, no, I didn't go skiing. That was one thing. The tour didn't really allow like to go skiing or snowboarding. It was a little
Okay.
bit
But I know I saw a lot of the snow stuff, and I was like, "Holy cow, that's awesome!"
yeah. We did use these like snow bikes. They were pretty cool.
Okay, that might have been what
Um
I saw.
yeah, so that was actually really fun. Never done that before, so um but yeah, then there was like tobogganing and just bits and pieces. And you could just go for like walks around the place.
That's
Um
very cool.
yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, definitely recommend
Yeah,
going to see the
I
snow.
just living vicariously through you, you really had a really like robust and wide ranging trip. It was like, holy cow, this guy is really making up for lost time. Because I know you said it's been a few years since you'd been,
Yeah.
um, and I was like, this guy's really going for it, and I thought that was really really cool.
We try to keep it um like just casual, like nice and slow, you know, what I mean, take your time. You know, spend enough time in the places that we were staying. Um but yeah, no, just so much stuff just happens. Um you just, you know, you're just not stopping. You're just constant go 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 go, you know. Even when you're just going out for lunch, you know, you just turn a corner and you find this and you look at that shop and um yeah, it's just you don't really have time for yourself, so in a good way.
No,
Um,
it's awesome.
Did you
but yeah,
d- did your partner have a favorite, part of the trip for her?
um, ooh,
I mean, besides just the extra time with you, which I mean, really.
I know she. Oh, that was funny. Like even after like the trip, she was like, "Oh, you want to hang out?" I'm like, "No, we hung out like 2 weeks, 16 days in a row." So, um, her favorite part, I would say, she's very much like a tour person. So she was just like, "I wish we booked more tours," and I was like, "No, no, what we had was really good, a good amount." So, um, yeah, so there was a tour that we did from Osaka to the Kyoto prefecture. There's like a fishing village, um, and I would say that was the highlight, just because it was really beautiful scenery. It snowed a little bit there, and it's just something different to see. So I would say that's her. Yeah, that'll be her first one, I would say.
That's very
Then
cool.
maybe second one in Nagano, seeing the snow monkeys were pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's very very cool.
It's
But if you ask
huge.
me, mine was claw machines and just going to the One Piece card shops. Oh, how I
Did you did you
Hell
have
yeah.
you have a list of stuff that you were going to buy there, or?
I did, but I did not find exactly what I wanted. I came back with a completely different set of things. So like there's like a Moss Burger promo. So I got that.
Yes, yes.
um what else did I grab? Oh, there's like 7-Eleven promos too. That was pretty cool. Yeah, just really busy too. I would say the best place that I found for cards was in Osaka for sure.
Mm,
I can't remember exactly the street, but if you just Google trading cards, they'll come up with one street just full of them. So
Wow, that's cool.
yeah, it was. And I found it by like kind of accident too, because I searched one shop, and then I went to it. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to spend half an hour here and just have a look. While my partner was just in the hotel room, just kind of having a nap. So I was like, I'll just duck out for 2 seconds. 3 hours later, um, yeah, it was wild. So, but yeah, I bought back like heaps of deck sleeves because they got a range that we don't have here. So And I bought back for some people. I was like, "Does anyone want anything? I'm here now." So, yeah, just bought a whole heap of that. So, and just random cards. So,
Very
definitely
cool.
didn't touch the list that I was going for because, um, oh, there was actually the One Piece Day stuff, like one of the dons. I did find, but for some reason, I think that particular card shop was more expensive than just buying it offline. So,
Mm.
so I was hoping to kind of find it cheaper, but no, it definitely was a well sorted after card. So, so
I feel like a lot of the shops, when it comes to these hobbies, or the well sought after, like the very popular hobbies,
mhm.
they're clued into the internet prices now. It's almost like the super potato effect, where like before you could get really cheap video games, but
Yep.
once they started, putting things on eBay or Yahoo auctions, a lot of those good deals are gone. Now it's like you got to go to like Hard Off and really
Yep.
dig. So I'm not surprised at all that the store that you found was like, it's more expensive now.
hmm
Yeah.
I did actually go to Hard Off in Sapporo. That was really cool.
Yeah, cool.
They had a range of stuff. I definitely recommend it too if anyone's looking after or looking for something in particular.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I was at that one shop for maybe 45 minutes. So, and that was near the Sapporo Beer Museum.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, a lot of snow. Yeah.
Like it, man. It's great. It's great.
Um,
Uh, yeah.
Also, too, my thoughts on Sapporo too, because I remember we were talking about like how the whole city is connected.
Sam said like parts of it are connected or something,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah. So I went in with like the thinking that everything was connected, but yeah, the main strip is just so if you don't want to walk above ground on the main strip, and I recommend just taking the bottom like a tunnel or the underground part because there's
That's
like
very
ice
cool.
everywhere and but yeah, it's yeah, it's pretty cool. Not exactly what I expected it was going to be, but still really cool. So
That's awesome.
David, did you end up finding a McDonald's down there in the the pathways below the city?
uh no, I did not.
It's,
There's
it's a fabled one Sam spoke of. He said it was hard to find, and I was like, okay, I see if David finds, as you're wandering through a McDonald's, see how hard it was. Apparently, it's just not, right out there. So, maybe
yeah,
Sam
I
has something
did
for you.
find the one above ground, but the one underneath, unless they were connected, I don't know.
I don't know.
Nah, surely they weren't connected.
It's just
But yeah, no,
that's where
definitely didn't.
he hid there a lot. That's where his place was to warm up underground. So he dressed not for the weather. So
Mhm. Oh no, yeah, that was one thing I definitely made sure we bought nice jackets for the trip. So
yeah.
um, definitely, yeah, if you're going in the snow, just buy something nice and warm. Top tip. Um, yeah, no, Sapporo was really lovely. Like, because I'm just mind blanking for the whole trip, so I'm just trying to retrieve every bit of the memory now. Because
Good news is, buddy, we can we got episode 10 again, together. So whatever
Ooh.
whatever pops up between now and then, just jot down, my man, and so that we can, we can go into depth about it. Don't worry about it, buddy. I'm not cutting you off after this.
no, 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 it's fine. That would be better. 'Cause I'm blanking on everything right now. Like, I'm trying to retrieve any like memory of like Japan. I was like, oh no, what's
he was
happening now?
you were in the zone. You were in the win the tournament zone. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I still apologize for that. Jeez.
Oh, no, you're
Um,
perfect, brother. Very
but I
perfect,
did
man.
win. I did win. So that's all that
You
matters,
s-
right?
That's it. That's it. It's a great way to
And
finish
then
the
as
weekend,
soon
my
as
man.
like you gave me the call, I was like, oh no, and I just straight back here. So
Uh,
yeah.
what about you, Maurice? Did you win any One Piece tournaments lately, or what do you want to share for your end of things?
No, I'm still the One Piece novice. I'm still the novice. Um, but I will piggyback on your movie reviews. Um, when you said that you were watching, 100 Yen Love, I was like, well, let me check out something too. And I watched an old Japanese film from the 60s, I believe, called Branded to Kill. And it's about an assassin who aspires to be the number one assassin. Um, and if you look at the back of the box, it's such a very strange artistic film, very like visually and aesthetically kind of like focused, because the scenes kind of like they kind of flow in a kind of weird, stilted, kind of like odd kind of pacing. They're all over the place. Some of them are long, some scenes are extremely short, but all of it's gorgeous. And yeah, apparently when the movie came out, the director was fired immediately. When people saw the movie, they're like, "What the hell is this?" But it's such a strange movie. The protagonist is like a sex fiend who loves the smell of rice. So whenever he's with his wife, he starts up his rice cooker, you know, and then he goes and does the with the rice. He goes and smells the rice, and then he's ready to go. It was such a strange film, and just so stylized, and that this idea of like assassins being ranked, and how after a certain point you're not even like worried about going and fulfilling the client kill list, right? The assassins become obsessed with each other, right? So it's like when you're in the top five, assassin 1, 2, and 3 are really just occupied with those top three assassins. So they're just trying to kill each other to be number one. And that was a really cool angle. And I know, we don't really talk about video games too much, but when I was in college, there was a game that came out called No More Heroes, um, for the Nintendo Wii, and it's about you're like this assassin that you're trying to get to the top of the rankings of assassins, and it's weird. And the protagonist has like these weird weeaboo kind of like weeb fetishes, and it takes so much from that movie. It's such a, and I immediately recognized it, that this movie really was the core inspiration for that video game that came out in 2007. That was pretty cool to kind of check out. But I highly recommend the movie. It's weird. It's definitely weird, but it's really, really good. The action is great, but you also have to take into account that it's a film from the 60s, so a lot of like the filmmaking techniques don't really jive today. But it's one of the most unique movies about killers I've ever seen. Um, I don't know how a dude got to make that in Japan in the 60s. That's an achievement, because it's such a weird movie. It's very, very strange. But I just, I know we spoke a bit ago. I got my sample book from China for my latest photo project. Uh, I'm super over the moon about it. Um, it looks gorgeous. I know we're doing audio here, but here it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
beautiful. I love it. It's just got all kind of nutty stuff in it. I mean, it's just a really strange book. Um, and I'm super excited about it. I know I told Michael, I said two publishers have agreed to review it. Fingers crossed, that it leads to something. Um, I don't know if I'm going to do a Kickstarter. If the publishers, kind of come in and they don't need any kind of funds up front to kind of like do the print, uh, but then I'll see if they can handle that. But I know when it comes down to profit sharing, if I bring the funds to kind of cover the initial print run, that'll probably be more favorable for me. Um, in the long run, as far as like how much I recoup or whatever. But getting access to the network of a publisher, as far as galleries or shelf space in retailers and things like that, uh,
Huge.
online storefronts that they supply, just their marketing machine that they have in place, would be really, really freaking cool. Um, I also told Michael that I have a gallery showing coming up soon. um, I'm excited about that. I think I can show this to you, gentlemen. Let me see if I can figure this out. Screen. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
All right.
Oops, something's
There's
jumping.
nothing weird in my email, so um, yeah, there's nothing weird in there. So let's see. Can you see
Oh,
that?
yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So that's the flyer for the exhibition that's going to start in March. I'm super excited about that. Hopefully it goes well. We shall see. We shall see. Um,
Badass, man.
it's interesting because like I've never done a gallery show for prints before. So there's this huge conversation about how do you price things? Like how do you say this is what it's worth? And I know when it comes to a lot of artists, there's this idea that art is sculpture and it's painting. Not very many people there are fewer people that really view photography as an art. So there is like a why do you price that or how do you express value in that? And I don't know what the answer is to that is. And it's just like, well, you have to think about the expenses that you took on, like to fly there, your lodgings, paying for models or clothing, um, just your time as an artist and how much you feel like your time is worth when building that into the cost or the value of a piece of work. And I don't know what the answer is to that. So the gallery is going to take 20%, which is pretty low for a gallery. Typically, I've heard anywhere between 30 and 50% for commissions off sales when you use their space. But 20% is fine. I'm gladly take that. So we shall see. We shall see. I'm excited though. I'm very, very excited.
You'll be rolling into that, my friend, and I'm going to be rolling into some procedures that I'm going to have done. They're going to have me laid out for spring break. So, at least you can send me some updates, buddy. And as I'm laying at home, I can be like, oh, yeah, let's, let's live
What are you getting,
vicariously
like a
through both of
vasectomy
you.
or something?
No, no, buddy. So, I found out like, they did this scan of like my, sinuses and stuff. As you can tell, I get like sinus infections all the time when like winter comes on.
Hmm.
And my doctor's like, you should go get that checked out. And I did. And they're like, hey, we can fix all this. I'm just going to lay you out for a while. And I was like, cool. Said, sign me up. If I don't have to, constantly, take an antibiotic, all winter long. I'm like, that'd be good for my body. I
And there you
believe.
go.
So, David is going to have to keep me updated too, his winnings, you have to keep me video games. That'll be a video game time too. That might be the Life is Strange time on,
Oh hell
the,
yeah.
the,
Hell
the
yeah.
most recent one. I'll break that out at that point in time when I'm stuck in the house and just be like, okay, let's go
Hell
all
yeah.
in on this, all
It,
in. So
it's the return of Max Caulfield, man. Of course.
that's right. That's right. I'm saving that for, saving that till, that time. That's going to be a perfect time.
Not to get too political, but did you know that the Life is Strange series is extremely popular within the LGBT community? Did you know that?
I did after I was like the pre like it was like the two previous or something like that, and it was my daughter that let me know. They're like, "Hey, Dad, did you know?" And I'm like, "This is a great game. I
Yeah.
didn't know, but it's fantastic." Like,
It's weird as like a 40-year-old black guy. I remember I went and bought the last one at Best Buy, and the associate who helped me was a woman, probably in her early 20s. And she goes, "How long have you been playing this?" And I said, "Oh, a minute." She goes, "The first one came out when I was in elementary school." And I'm like, "Oh my God."
yeah, like, I've been playing since the beginning, and it's well worth that whole time, man. It's well worth it.
No, I'm a huge Life is Strange fan, man. And I didn't know that you were into that. Um,
I love it, man. I played all the games, played them multiple times, and it's like I'm just waiting to play the most recent one,
oh
just
man.
to see. But like I did the Life is Strange, like the one where it's not the main group of kind of like or people where it's like the two brothers.
Oh, Life is Strange too.
Yes, I did that. That's one I had put off for a while, but they're fantastic. It's just
Oh man,
I'm
I
just
didn't play 2 because I'm a Sam and Max kind of
yep.
fanboy.
Yep.
Oh gosh. Chloe and Max. I'm not Sam and
Yep.
Max. Sam and Max is a different IP, but Chloe and Max. And I remember because a different studio made Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Yes.
Because there was Don't Nod and then there's Deck Nine. The different developers. Anyway, that's getting in the weeds for nerdy stuff. But whenever they were like, Max is coming back because True Colors had a different antagonist or
Yep.
protagonist. Well,
Yep.
and that's a really good one as well. Man, okay, I'm not going to derail this. I love
Derail
that.
it. Do it.
Well, since you asked, give me 1 second.
Oh, I love it, David. If you have any favorite foods, we're waiting for Reese to go grab his games to show off what he's got or something here.
Oh,
Well, he's already
I'm
he's already
back. I'm
back.
back.
That's it.
That was quick.
Here are the 2 limited edition boxes for
Ooh.
for Life is Strange Before the Storm, and then
That was my
here's
favorite.
the limited edition for the very original. I'm an original Life is Strange weirdo. I love it.
Oh
That's
no,
okay.
it's
I respect it.
yeah. I I played like Before the Storm was mine that I liked the most out of it. Like out of them, like you all, I think you all have your ones, and it's like the relationship that was in that was just like won me over so many,
Mm, mm,
so
mm.
many different ways. And but the last, it's like being different people. I always worry whenever there's somebody new in something if it's going to live up to it, and I'm like, and it did. And I'm just I purposely not looked too much into the most recent game because I saw like the ratings for people went down like a chunk off of what was like normally off of those. So I was like, I don't want to get jaded by stuff. So I want to play that game, take it in, and hope it's good. But the soundtracks on that, so many good. The music for it, the
Mhm.
art for it. It's just so many fantastic things, David. Join the group.
Oh,
Join the
it's
club.
so good. And I don't know what it is about the series. It's just it's. I know that there's like they call it cozy games, or like these games where it's kind of low stress. But the emotional up and down of those games, and then also just to go back to David's points about or Michael's points about Before the Storm, the depiction of Chloe and her father in there in that game is fucking stellar. Sorry,
No, you're good, man. You're good. I
it's
already did it earlier, so
yo,
we'll
and
just
it's so
explicit this
good
tag. So
because her father dies in like a car accident, right?
Yep.
And there are some like weird flashbacks or just kind of like these mind trip instances of her father in the car, and I'm like, holy cow, they've really nailed this. It's
and
so good.
like
Um,
talking to her, it's just like,
oh
oh
yes,
yeah, God, yeah, that
yes,
it
and then
that
you know this the over the first game there was the specter of Rachel Amber, right? This girl who disappeared, right? And then in the second one, it would be easy to flub that. Like
yep,
since they had to materialize her and create her, it would have been so easy to screw it and drop the ball. But they didn't. They
they nailed that
oh my god.
so it
Oh
was a home run out of the park. Like yeah, it was so good,
my.
so good.
Well, today on today's episode of Life is Strange, old weird guys.
But yeah,
uh,
Maurice, we'll have to talk. Like after you play those games, like after play the most recent one, we'll have some more off time. Just like hop on and go through. I got to talk David into hopping on and doing a little more Call of Duty some point in time.
Yes, and I've seen you've been online too. I was just like, well, I'm not sure what time it is. Like I was like, I won't bother him. I won't disturb him.
You can say hey to me anytime, buddy. If I'm on, I'm already making poor decisions, no matter what it is. So you just join in on those poor decisions, my friend. Just join on. It's no worries. So I love it. I was gonna say like did you get to eat any like skewered meats while you're there? Any yakitori or anything? Or what did you enjoy the most while you're there?
Oh yes, I'm glad you asked that question because I did not stop eating the whole time I was there. Like, I mean, literally put on extra 2 kilos when I got back. I was just like, what has happened to me? Like, um, I would say no skewered meat because I think it all consisted of like, I definitely had the rice curry more than anything, like more than I should have actually eaten. Um, it was
Did you
just
have it? Did you have it 5 times in one day? If you did not have it 5 times in one day, you're at a perfect amount, buddy. Whatever that was.
no, Michael. I'm pretty sure you still hold the record on that one. I think at most it was.
Yeah. Otherwise, I gotta fly back right now. I can't leave that. That's gauntlet thrown down, David. That's gauntlet down.
um, yeah. Look, I would say the most would have been what 3 times in one day. So yeah, your record is still secure. Don't you worry.
You and I could travel to get together, David. We'll just hit this like curry fest time, and we can just eat our way through.
Hey, look, that sounds good to me. Jeez, what? Yeah, oh my god. So anything that had custard and pastry was absolutely my wallet was already open at every like opportunity. Just those two things for me are just big hitters. So I was like, I'm in Japan. They do it really well here. So yeah, it just yeah, anything pastry, custard, absolutely just destroyed. Um, I know I mentioned Mossburger before. Normally, like I try to keep it on the low, like eating like Western style foods. But geez, I didn't know they existed. The first time I was there, I didn't even know. But this time I was like, oh, Mossburger, and also too, it had like options that my partner could eat too because she eats more like a plant based diet. So they had a burger that because for like trying to find food for her, like and also too, I'm not a massive seafood fan. Like, I can eat tuna and bits and pieces, and oh, actually, there was really nice fish and chips. We had it there called the British Pub in Sapporo. I could talk more about that, but just a mental note. um, but yeah, absolutely destroyed Moss Burger, just because it was convenient, and they were like everywhere. So, um, oh, now I'm blanking. Pretty much ate everything that was in a convenience store. Like I was like, oh, I haven't tried that. Oh. There was one. We were on a Shinkansen, I think, to on the way to uh Osaka to get to Kobe, and we bought this like fermented salad and didn't know it was fermented at the time. And boy, oh my goodness, it stunk out the whole carriage. Oh, it was just like I melted in my seat, and I was like, "I'm so sorry, everybody." There was a lot of sumimasen's going around that day. I was that's why it's not made to salad.
Gaijin smash.
Yeah. Oh, it
Man.
was just I was just like, "What have I done?" Um, but yeah, it did make it a mission to kind of try all the new stuff that or even the old stuff too that I was missing. I was like, "Oh man, I have to get back to this." Um, typical egg sandwiches, most probably 850 the whole trip in the 16 days. Just everything. Um, but what would yeah? There's nothing that really stands out the most.
It's just
That's at the top of
everything.
mind.
You like it all. That's all that matters.
So, oh, we
I
actually
love.
tried this really lovely ramen place that was now I'm blanking on the name on that one too, but it was in Tokyo. It was really lovely too because they had like a vegan option. So my partner could. She was like, "Oh yeah, that works," and it was really tasty too, really good. So, and I end up having this like rice egg type of dish, really lovely. So, that definitely stood out. I'll see if I got a photo of it too, so I can post that on the Instagram thing I do. So,
I love that.
um, but yeah, didn't stop eating. So, and then just a flood of just food memories coming in. I just can't put down. So,
I
So
like it. I like it. Like it. Said, I wanted to, because we're already getting up towards about like 45 minutes. So I wanted to share something real quick. If you are in Japan, still at this time,
right now,
Japan's on Sora News 24, Japan's poop lucky bag is
I missed
available
out.
through
Fuck.
Unko. And it's like a lucky bag, beginning of the year lucky bags that you can end up getting, so you can get a lot of things for not much money. But what it does have in this bag that's $12.75 or 2,000 yen is you get a sticker that basically has the Japanese unko, meaning poop. That you can have. So you got a poop sticker, a poop washcloth, a set of stickers, um, bracelets, one with a charm, a little pink charm. But the most important thing that comes out of this, besides the poop mineral water that I question, about, is you get this card, and it is looks like a credit card, but it basically says in Japanese, "I need to poop." So you can put this in your wallet, break it out in case of emergencies, and just show that off. I need to poop. So, that's that. In forms of lucky bag, that's something unique, and that's something that I think like any of us could potentially benefit from. So, that's just one. I was going to skip the segment altogether, but that one I was like, come on, you can't
Be
pass
like, I
it
need
up.
to
So.
mention the poop bag. Have to.
Got to, got to. So one of these days I'm going to be living there, and I'm going to be like these lucky bags, that they do, like Uniqlo or Starbucks or whatever it is. I'm going to hit them up, and I'm going to make a
Oh.
name for myself then. So
Yeah. When you have they have the New Year's sales in the
yep.
Where's my bag? I'll find it. Sorry, they have these bags. Have you ever seen them?
No.
No, yeah. So you'll see them everywhere, and on New Year's they'll have like a New Year's special. They'll have like maybe like $60 worth of items in there, but you only buy it for like $30. So, oh, did you hear that? Because it just skipped a little bit there for me. So,
I heard it.
Go.
I heard you.
oh,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
yeah, you're
cool,
good,
cool.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, it lagged for me for some reason, so I wasn't sure that was on both ends. Yeah, so um, but I was in that not convenience store, like apartment store, the Don Quixote, I think it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
So I was in there, and I was looking at the little bags they had there, and they had one. I didn't know it at the time, and I almost bought it, but it had sex toys.
Yes, yes,
and I'm
David,
look,
bring that home.
and I'm looking at it, I'm like, whoa, this is pretty good price, you know what I mean? And I'm picking up the bag and I'm shaking it a little bit, and I'm like, and I'm looking around the section that I'm in, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in an adult section right now. Like, oh no, yeah, I'm not buying this bag because it's right in front of everything. So, yeah, that was a pretty funny moment that I almost bought a bag of explicit toys.
That'd have been the best. That'd have been the picture of the show if you had that.
Could you imagine the surprise in the hotel room? I'll just be like, open it up and be like,
Hey, honey.
oh, okay, this is taking a twist.
Oh, David.
Scratch up the phone. Yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty funny. So, but I was definitely chasing those, like looking all those for those bags everywhere. I went, I'm like, oh, do you have these here? No, so it was funny.
Wow.
So they
Perfect.
derailed the conversation a little bit.
Oh, so it's been derailed a few times already, so
I
you might
feel
as well
like
join another pod.
super scattered today. Like, I'm even surprised I won the One Piece tournament, to be honest. So,
That's all that
but
matters.
I did it.
I did it.
So
Number one. Yeah.
maybe just because of there's regionals happening today, or tomorrow in Melbourne. So I'd say some of the good players went there. So
You'll be there soon enough, buddy. You know, you'll have your own fan club. We'll be out there cheering for you. So, you know, it's like
um,
you'll be there. You'll be there.
yeah, I was gonna go there, but I just didn't get a ticket on time. So
That's it. We're
but
gonna.
good thing I'm here to do the podcast episode. So win. I'd rather be
That's it. You'll be you'll
Can
be
I
calling.
mention something really quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So this is the last thing that I had to add to the episode, but one thing I found out recently that in, I guess, Australian slang, whinging means whining, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I,
a for a second I
but,
thought you're gonna drop a bombshell on me. I'm like, whinging. I'm like, yeah, whinging.
no, I remember. There's a YouTuber who's from Australia, but he lives in Japan, and he goes, "Oh, I'm just gonna have a whinge," and I'm like, "What the hell is that?" You know, and
Yeah.
when I was making the photo book, um, Stephanie, who helped out in the book tremendously, she's half Japanese and half Australian, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm just gonna whinge about this for a little bit. You know, let me whinge." And I'm like,
And then
"What
you're
are
like,
you
there it is
talking
again. There's that word.
And
Um,
I was like, "What is that?" And she explained it to me, and I'm like, "Oh, it makes so much sense now." So I
whinge.
have not found
Really?
a
That
way.
like never occurred to me. Like
Yeah,
that would be like a non-known thing for like Americans. That
yeah,
is
we
so
don't
weird.
say whinging. No, we don't say it. So
Oh,
I'm gonna find a way to start incorporating it in my language, and I can't wait for people to be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" So-
hey, look, it's easy. I can most probably use it 5 times in a sentence. So, oh, it's a word you could, yeah, it's very, yeah, usable. I don't know.
Very
Yeah,
cool. Very, very cool.
like I would like my partner does something. I have a whinge. That's so funny.
That's great.
Uh,
We should like bring up a segment of just like words that I wouldn't know and words that you might like.
Hmm.
I love it, buddy. I love it.
You know, it
So
doesn't take too long. It's 10 seconds.
yeah. I said it's like we could figure that in. That's gonna hook people. That's the hook, gentlemen.
Ooh.
That's gonna be the hook to listen to Good Times episode 10, where we can play the game and also probably talk a little bit more about Life is Strange. So, with that, gentlemen, and don't forget, everyone listening, Lucy, Joe, Coffee, Mellow Belly, tell them the show sends ya. Uh, on behalf of Lost Without Japan and the entire crew, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. We look forward to you hopping on board again for our next regularly scheduled episode as we continue our discussion on Japan, travel, culture, and your Lost Without moments. Thank you, gentlemen.